The Foreign Ministry released a list of 500 Americans who are banned from entering Russia, including former President Obama and comedian Colbert. The ministry accused them of various offenses, such as spreading Russophobia, supplying arms to Ukraine, and persecuting dissidents after the Capitol riot. The ban also affects 45 House members, 3 senators, and 2 former ambassadors to Russia. Russia denied consular access to a Wall Street Journal reporter who was arrested and charged with espionage, citing U.S. visa restrictions for Russian journalists. The U.S. sanctions targeted people and companies involved in the war effort and technology procurement for the Kremlin. Sam Brinton, who used to oversee nuclear waste policy at the Department of Energy, DOE, was arrested in Maryland on Wednesday as a fugitive from justice. Brinton is accused of stealing luggage from Reagan National Airport in February 2023, as well as from airports in Minneapolis and Las Vegas in 2022. Brinton faces up to 15 years in prison for the alleged thefts, but has avoided jail time so far. Brinton was exposed by a Tanzanian fashion designer who recognized her custom-made dresses that Brinton wore after stealing them from her luggage in 2018. The U.S. and Taiwan reached agreement on the first part of their 21st Century Trade Initiative covering customs and trade facilitation, regulatory practices, and small business. After the initial agreement of the U.S.-Taiwan Initiative on 21st Century Trade is signed, negotiations will commence on other trade areas including agriculture, digital trade, labor and environmental standards, state-owned enterprises and non-market policies and practices. U.S. Trade Representative Catherine Tai said in a statement the deal strengthens U.S.-Taiwan relations and demonstrates that they can work together to advance trade priorities for their populations. Orlando Police Department is investigating an incident where a digital traffic sign near Lake Nona Boulevard and Nemours Parkway in Orlando was altered to say "Kill all gays" on International Day Against Homophobia, Biphobia, and Transphobia. The sign was intended to be used to warn drivers about possible delays due to a scheduled 5K fun run this weekend. Florida's largest LGBTQ advocacy group issued a travel advisory telling the queer community that it may no longer be safe to move to or visit the state due to a slate of hateful laws and policies signed by Governor Ron DeSantis. Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina, the only Black Republican in the Senate, is running for the 2024 Republican presidential nomination. Scott launched a $6 million ad campaign in key presidential primary states on Friday, ahead of a scheduled campaign announcement May 22. Scott joins former President Donald Trump in the race for their party's nomination. The Republican field is likely to get more crowded in the weeks and months ahead. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is likely to join the race in the late spring or early summer. Adidas has come under fire for working with LGBTQ+ models after the sportswear brand released its new Pride swimsuit campaign. Social media users slammed the company's choice on one model advertising a $70 women's swimsuit, with critics saying Adidas was trying to erase women. The company announced its latest collaboration with South African designer Rich Nisai as the Let Love Be Your Legacy collection and part of the company's Pride 2023 campaign. After the announcement sparked criticism, Adidas joined Bud Light, Miller Lite, Target and more in the wave of right-wing condemnation as conservatives accuse companies of alienating their customer base by working with the LGBTQ+ community. Georgia Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene slammed Adidas, accusing the company of alienating women. Despite the criticism on Twitter, many social media users applauded the company's decision to be inclusive despite other companies taking heat for similar efforts. President Joe Biden has endorsed plans to train Ukrainian pilots on U.S.-made F-16 fighter jets. The group of 7 leaders set out new sanctions on Moscow as well as plans to enhance the effectiveness of existing financial penalties meant to constrain President Vladimir Putin's war effort. The F-16 training is to be conducted in Europe and will likely begin in the coming weeks. Decisions on when, how many, and who will provide the 4th-generation fighter jets for Ukraine to use in battle will be made in the months ahead while the training is underway. European allies in recent weeks have warmed to the notion of sending fighter jets to Ukraine. The US needed to sign off on any allied effort to train Ukrainian pilots or to provide them with the jets. The announcement Friday came as the US and its allies also announced a series of actions meant to tighten restrictions on already sanctioned people and firms involved in Russia's war effort. New York City's skyscraper skyline is causing the city to sink about 1 to 2 millimeters per year on average. The subsidence rate was observed by 3 University of Rhode Island oceanologists and a researcher from the U.S. Geological Survey. Researchers claimed Lower Manhattan is at a greater risk of sinking than most other areas of the city. Parts of Brooklyn and Queens are also experiencing higher subsidence rates than other parts of New York City. Researchers warned the city's shift worsens the threat of flooding in the region, especially amid already rising sea levels. The study claimed these events, and future flooding, could negatively impact the structural integrity of New York City's buildings. Researchers hope that their study will push for more research into creative solutions to fight the effects of climate change on densely populated, urban areas. NYC is one of many coastal cities facing this challenge due to climate change. Instagram's parent company, Meta, testing a text-based app that will compete with Twitter. The app is being tested with influencers and some creators. The app will be integrated with Instagram and built on the back of Instagram, but will be compatible with some other apps like Mastodon. The app is decentralized. There is no information on when the app will be released. Meta reportedly pitching celebrities and influencers to join its Instagram for Your Thoughts. The Instagram for Your Thoughts being built by Meta to compete with Elon Musk's Twitter could launch as soon as next month. The app may be compatible with other apps like Mastodon, allowing users to search across apps. The app will reportedly allow users to log in with an Instagram account's existing username and password, and profile details like username, verification, and a user's bio will carry over. According to reports from Bloomberg and The Verge that cite Leah Haberman, Meta is meeting with influencers to discuss the app's future. Bloomberg confirmed part of Haberman's report, as it cited people familiar with the matter who said the app is being tested with celebrities and influencers, and has been available to select creators for testing purposes for months. Please support us by liking, sharing, and subscribing to our channel.